Morning, Matthew.
Good morning.
Good morning. I will call to order the meeting for the Chase County Commissioners for October 31st, 2025. Everyone will please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ernie, come to me.
Number 2 swapped up there today. Yeah. Can you still hear us, Matt?
Yep.
Very good.
All right, start out with the warrants. Are there any questions or anything on any of the bills?
There are 2 sheets there because we forgot to check and had to issue a second warrant. So,
Okay,
but it's still dated.
all
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the warrants for October 31st, 2025.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Did you hear that, Matt?
I heard you. Sorry. I talked when you talked. Sorry.
All right. We have our payroll for October 31st, 2025. Are there any questions? I'll make a motion to approve payroll for October 31st, 2025.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Just make a stack there. We'll just do that.
Gotcha.
We'll pass it all at once. We have our minutes from our October 13th, 2025 meeting. Everybody have a chance to look those over. Are there any additions or corrections? I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 13th, 2025.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. We have our minutes from our October.
Move that mic over.
Is that better?
That's better.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have our minutes from our October 21st, 2025 meeting at Cedar Point. Everybody have a chance to look those over. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 21st, 2025.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
No. I wasn't there, so just to sign this.
We can still approve.
I still, yeah, it's my first time, so.
We have a change order. EOTA exemption order for the Mental Health Center of East Central Kansas.
The OTA is Board of Tax Appeals.
Oh, okay.
They approved it, so this is just coming to a change.
I'll make a motion to approve change order 2024-28.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
This is the annual.
Annual. Kansas Department of Transportation letter of commitment for public transportation. We'll make a motion that we sign the letter of support, or letter of commitment for matching funds for general public transportation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go ahead. We need to add Bernice and Nick to all Cottonwood Valley bank accounts. So I'll make a motion to add Chase County Treasurer Bernice Albers and Nick Rogers to all Cottonwood Valley bank accounts.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Bernice, short report, short, underline. You have 5 minutes.
I don't even know if I'll need that.
Okay.
This is just where we're sitting right now in all of our accounts. Working on one that's going to show you interest and everything else, but I wanted to get this, baby steps for me. So,
Okay.
I don't know if you have any questions about that, but that's everything we have. This is a copy of our pledges from both banks that we work with. We get those every month. That just lets you know, kind of you can compare that to our balances versus what our pledges are. So that's that piece of information. I did visit with Kelly and Barry both at Cottonwood Valley, and we have kind of decided to move that $198,000 over to a CD. We're going to go ahead and do 24 months at 2.5. Interest rates are they're down. As you can see from our Kansas Municipal Investment Pool, this time last year they were 4 something. So, and that's a day-to-day thing with the investment pool. We have, anyway, those are the rates of our current CDs, as you can see. So we'll get, I think he's in the process of getting that rolled over as we speak.
Tell me again what the interest rate.
2.5. 24 months. I figured it's been sitting there since 2022 or so. So we could put it in there for 2 years. Window repair update. We've got a person and you guys kind of all approved to do that. I haven't got him in here yet, so I'm going to call him again today. We do have our locks changed. We got the vault changed. That's all been updated. We're working on, there is a driver's license training on November 7th. State's kind of I don't know. I had to call them and say, I heard there was training this day. Can you get me in it? And so I did. I heard about that at the new treasurer training, which I did this week, which was really, really good. I think in the office, Lauren said it best. It was like drinking from a fire hose, but it was a good day. So I made lots of contacts and new friends and so forth. So that's my update. I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. We're just killing it day by day.
There we go.
I'll be
All
down. I'll be down the hall with you.
Okay. I'm glad you found somebody that better price on that window.
Yes, yes, yeah. And Tony down at the chamber said that she was very happy with them. They actually fixed some stuff from another vendor that had been not done well. So it'll be good. All right, thank you.
Yep. Did you have something, Matt?
Nope, said thank you.
Okay. It just delayed just a shade, so. All right. Think it's Christy out there? Don't think so. I haven't heard anybody.
No, I see Kirk coming up the front steps. I don't see Chris.
Okay. Oh, did the bid first, okay. Yeah. All right. I see her, him. Come on in. Well, we have our office space down there with the new fire station. You know, we've all been down there and looked at it and have talked about it for a while. Any more ideas or anything? We talked about moving the road and bridge and space for the fire chief. So Scott Wilsey, I think, would like to stay where he's at. So that works better with dispatch. And
He just wanted a desk.
yeah, I made him feel.
Come and go.
Yeah, I think the plan is that there would be a workspace there for him, but
Yeah.
that wouldn't be his headquarters.
Yeah,
No, not at all.
but I'm willing to try move them, what you need down there. Tom's here with us. And we could put road and bridge down there is kind of what sounds like a good idea. And then Steve would have a desk. Matt?
Yeah, the access thing is the only concern that I have with it being, and I've shared it with Tom and being an open space down there with full access from the fire station to that front office up there. My concern is I feel that needs to be restricted. So I think if we're going to move road and bridge into that front area, then there needs to be no access from the backside to the front side. It'd be the equivalent of Tom not locking his door downstairs there at the courthouse when he goes home every day, right? We have a decent idea of who does and doesn't have access down there, but again, when you get a whole bunch of people in there, I know they have a plan to put their records in a room that's going to be locked, but their desks will still be wide open, and you get a group of people in there just kind of sitting around. And I just don't, that's the only concern I have really is access. So what have you come up on that, Tom?
Yeah, Steve and I talked about that. It's not, I hear your concerns, agree with them. It's not the thing that bothers me, you know, during normal business hours when someone is in there. I think the thing that some developments since you and I have talked, Matt, that evidently there's some file storage capacity, some filing cabinets that are being replaced upstairs that might be a possibility for us to get down there. Gene, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, there's on the second floor, there's some file cabinets that they want gone. And I do know that Rebecca would like to have them upstairs, but these cabinets are, I'm understanding, extremely heavy. I don't know that we could put them on the third floor. If we can't, those cabinets could go down to the building, and then you have secure storage.
Which doesn't deal with the desk issue that you've talked about.
We've talked about,
But it does deal with some file,
but we have
more
talked about
secure
the
file
desk,
storage.
having those rekeyed, so we could lock the desk up. You
So-
know, so it could help cure that problem too.
I'm going to recommend that employee files stay in my office for Road and Bridge. I need access to those. Just what concerns payroll.
Right.
Everything else, so we'll in essence have two files. If you want files. to-
Right, have a copy, have a clerk's
Right.
office copy and
But I need the employee files for payroll purposes and storage. When somebody changes something, I need to put it in an employee file, so.
Kind
I
of
mean,
official files with
Official
you
file,
and
yeah, I
you
think
would have
that's
copy.
doable.
Mhm.
Do you have any other things that you're concerned about? I know you and
No.
Caitlin have kind of talked about it.
No, it's not that far.
Right, there's gonna be some issues about, you know, she's gonna have to come up and do some work on your spare computer in the AS400 or
For
something.
what?
For billing or something, or?
Well,
you
no,
guys
she
gonna
can,
take-
she can submit her bills with voucher, just like detention does and
You don't
everything.
want her to come up and do, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
and then Tiff will enter them. She does anyway, so.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a couple of concern, records, security questions that we need to make sure to get dealt with. Matt's concerns, any that you have, I think it, other than that, I'm not aware of.
And then an option could be if we, from the fire department to the building, if we put a little entryway right there and a door there, that way they get to the restroom, that's it, from the firehouse, fire department. Just a thought,
If that becomes an issue.
if that becomes an issue, right?
I think that we need to, again, I'm not opposed to it, but I feel if we're gonna do it, we need to restrict the access. Again, it's not just the file cabinets, it's the desks, being at the desks and we really don't have any idea of who does and doesn't have access at that point down there. I mean, there's people down there all the time in the fire station that aren't fire department personnel, that aren't county employees. So I'm not for it unless we stop that access altogether. I don't have a problem when you guys are there that being open, but between the fire station and the front, it will need to be, I feel that it would need to be locked outside of normal business hours, and they just wouldn't have access to a bathroom back there. So that's my feelings on the situation.
Like a commercial type lock that's locked on the fire side, that would have to be a key
Right.
and just certain, and then if they need, people would need access while you're business hours. That'd be all right, but then after hours, that bathroom and that area would be closed off. And it'll be something we'll need to kind of monitor and just talk to the personnel and say, hey, this is your area back here. That's all. Restroom is closed. If it's after hours and that, we'll have to figure something else out for.
Steve and I talked, I feel like we can make that work.
Okay.
So if, I don't want to create
I mean, the area ought to be used. I mean, it's still in good shape.
We've been using it for meeting space,
Right.
training space, stuff like that. It works really good.
So,
There's pros and cons both directions. There's pros to and cons to us staying here. There's pros and cons to us being down there. I think, whatever you guys think. I think it would be a good option, but it's not a hill I'm prepared to die on either.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'd say we move forward if we make sure that's secured in that and everybody has that understanding that that is closed off. I say we move the road and bridge department down there, see how it works for 4 to 6 months, kind of iron out a few details if there anything arises. I mean, communication is our best friend to make sure everything works. So,
yeah.
and then Steve would have an office in there, a desk and area. So,
Okay.
All righty.
You gonna just go on a consensus? You're gonna vote?
I'll make a motion that we move the road and bridge and down to 201 Walnut office area.
I would ask that you add something into your motion about the access from the west side from the fire station back into the office area be restricted and locked outside of normal business hours for the road and bridge department.
Do you want to put somebody in charge, like the road and bridge of the building, or do you need that?
Yeah, I mean, when they leave at the end of the day, when they lock the front door, they'll lock the back door. It'll be the same situation. They'll have the keys to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, the motion on the
strike.
floor,
Well,
motion on the floor is to move road and bridge to 201 Walnut with access from fire station restricted.
And then have Steve's has that place there, and then Scott temporary place, not moved there.
So fire chief.
Yeah,
Fire chief.
Fire chief office,
and a part
emergency management workspace.
with
I
Tom.
thought the emergency management was going to stay down at
Yes,
He is.
office. We were just gonna kind of create a space for him
Just have us-
there when he needs to come and deal with I don't know that even needs to be enumerated, but
Yeah,
That doesn't.
I don't think
Okay.
No, it
that
just,
that won't be his office. That'll
Yeah.
just.
he is staying.
Tom,
We're
you're
making
in
allowances
charge
for-
of that area.
Workspace, yeah.
I mean, it's your responsibility. If anybody needs something or question in that, they come to you, and then
Well.
if you need us,
And my thought, and what Steve and I both talk about, is absolutely available for meeting area, training space, whatever, just like we use it now, and I know fire uses it, whatever. So just be a matter of kind of scheduling so that we can accommodate it, not
Yep.
that we want to restrict anybody's access to that training space, just so that we know that we can get it accommodated. So I don't know how you put that in, or if you need to.
It's
That's
not
the,
necessary.
that's the discussion that Steve and I have had.
Okay.
So, I
We have a
mean,
motion on the floor.
go ahead and reread the motion, please.
Motion to move road and bridge to 201 Walnut with access from fire station restricted.
Restricted after hours.
Just restrict.
I think restricted is good.
Just
Okay,
restricted, yeah.
We can work out the details between Steve and I.
Happy.
Motion by Hazelton,
Yes.
Second.
Any more discussion? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
was that an aye, Matt?
Yes.
Motion carries. Good. Oh, Andrew. All right, thank you. Christie, we're a little slow here.
That's okay. It's
You're-
Halloween. You're worth waiting for.
Well, thank you.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm okay.
All right.
I'm good. Happy
And you-
Halloween.
You happy Halloween, and Matt's behind you, but so
Okay, few things. Number one, We were awarded a Kansas Pipeline Association grant for $7,250 to pay for another flock camera and 2 years worth of the contract. So we were just notified of that a few days ago, and the sheriff was informed, and now we're going to move ahead. That's a straight ahead 100% grant, so there's no match for that. So we can go ahead and get another one. The volunteer fire department grant came through. That's a 50-50 grant. That was for 3 floating pumps. The amount we were awarded was $4,937. That means that our match was $4,937. The fire department already had that money squirreled away, so we don't have to ask you for matching funds. Those pumps have already been ordered. They were ordered the day that the award was made because it was anticipated that the price of those pumps was going to go up. So that's what we're doing with that. I am putting together an application for a Spirit of Blue grant for some things for the sheriff's department. I missed a window for the body worn camera grant. It was an unusual grant where you had to submit your budget information in order to then submit your entire application. And last Friday, they put out an email saying that the date of the application had been changed. I assumed falsely that had meant that they were going to, that everything would be due all at one time, the way it normally should. And so I missed the window for that. So we will include those body worn cameras in the Spirit of Blue grant. Amateur mistake, never going to happen again. Unfortunately, there was no one at the federal government who is the grantor to call about that. And I made an assumption that was wrong. We are also, this is new to you, we are applying for a Kansas FLAP. So it's a Kansas Federal Lands Access Program grant. And that money is to improve access to federal land. And so this would be grant funding to improve access to the Tallgrass National Preserve, and specifically City Road 227, County Road 227, and the Lower Fox Creek Bridge. And it's not doing a lot, but freshening it up.
So we had a need, recognized a need for some time, just, that little gravel road that goes from Connie's house basically over to the St. Anthony Cemetery.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a good little gravel road, but it has needed some ditch work done, some tree trimming done. What we hope this might be able to do with this money, since it's work that we just can't seem to find the time and get over there and do, that maybe we could hire some contractors to do a little work on the bridge, just a little preventative maintenance, some tucking and some cement work and things like that. And then that maybe we could get a contractor in there to help us with some tree removal and some ditch development, and then just resurface the road when we're done.
Right.
So
Keep it gravel.
yeah, no vast improvements.
It's not make it fancy. It's just clean it up, improve the drainage. We don't really get a letter of support. What we get is there's a form that our federal partners fill out. Technically, our partner with that land is owned by the Nature Conservancy. We do have support from them. They've spoken to their attorneys and filled out the form saying that they will work with the county on this. They haven't told us flat out that they would give us right of way in case we needed to open things or do things, but they are certainly willing to talk about it.
There's a chance that we're gonna, to get good ditches that will service that road. The right of way is so narrow over there. The fences are close to the road. There's not room for much of the ditch. So if we're gonna do some work, you know, if we could get another 20, 30 footer right of way on either side, so we had room to put in a bigger ditch, better ditch, and kind of make things better, then they say that they're willing to have that discussion with us.
Absolutely, and the
Don't-
Nature Conservancy is very excited about that. Tony said that he had never brought up the condition of that road, but is very happy that the county is talking about it. In particular, because there's, they've just redone the 2 trails. There's 5 trails at Tallgrass, and 2 of them come directly off that road at that little rest area is the trailhead for those. So we got an estimate for the bridge. We spoke with Brandy, our engineer friend, and she said if that's a bridge is in good condition, you don't need an engineer. You just, you know, you're not replacing it, you're not widening it. It's a historic old stone bridge. Have a stone guy look at it. So we had Carl Kopp give us an estimate for it. It's in good shape, but one side of it, some of the top stone is coming down. So we're moving ahead with that. It's Kansas, the money is federal money through the Federal Land Access Program. It's given in a block grant to the state. The amount the state gets is $775,000. There's no match for this money. There is no limit. I think what they will do is get applications and determine award based on the application and number of applications. So we're moving ahead with that. I would like for, at this point in time, rather than to include in the application, because one of the things that the grant and most of these grants want is to know how the public feels about with this. And because there's not really residents or businesses or anything, that I would like a letter of support from the county commission saying that they're supporting the improvements on County Road 227 and lower, and we're calling it the Lower Fox Creek Road and Bridge Project.
Okay.
Let's see, what else? The Rural and Tribal Assistance Grant that I applied for preliminary engineering for the bridges and the culverts on Middle Creek Road is due to be awarded in November. They may push that back because nobody's been in their office for a month. So we're waiting to see on that. Then that brings me up to our big grant proposal through the Bridge Investment Program grant. We have submitted with Brandy Sutherland and Osage County submitted a couple of draft requests for Build Kansas match funding. So for Chase County, our what we would receive for this project would be 15% of the required 15% of the amount, which would be most of the match. But that would leave the county with 5% for the match. So that comes out to about $4.1 million. This is a big project. And because the money is Kansas money and the Build Kansas board is legislators, they have a lot of questions about the funding. And they have made a request for a cost benefit analysis to determine that return on investment. And that Rural and Tribal Assistance Grant has money built into it to pay for a cost benefit analysis as part of that preliminary engineering work. Also, the federal grant, that Bridge Investment Program grant itself also allows for us to use the grant funding for that. But Build Kansas would like to have that ahead of time while they make a determination about about whether to award us the match funding. So there's a challenge with that because we had not budgeted for that. Brandy is working with an engineer at K-State to see if we can't have that done for us, what that would look like. The estimate for having the benefit cost analysis done for those 7 bridges is $20,000 to realistically $50,000. And in the grant proposal that I turned into the feds, I allowed $200,000 for the benefit cost analysis. So it's wide ranging. So that's where we are with that. The catch with that is that when we find a way to do that, because of how low our population is, it's really hard on paper to show a benefit from that large an investment. So we're working it out. We're talking about it. Right now, that grant is closed. It was supposed to have been due on Monday. It's been pulled off of grants.gov. We haven't heard anything from anybody. We assume it will come back again, but I don't know. So that's where we are with that. It's yet more questions. I've received some letters of support already to include in our application from the fire department and emergency services. We're getting one from the school district. I, of course, will want one from this body. But that's where we are with that, in case you have any additional questions about that.
Matt, do you have any questions for Christy?
Nope, sounds great. Thanks for all the work that you're doing.
Okay, and we're cool with me coming up with money for the lower Fox Creek Road Bridge and
Project?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, it's-
and I'll draft a letter and give it to Connie, and then you guys can sign it for us.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
We meet again on the 10th. Is that soon enough, Christy?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
So that grant is, oh, I forgot to tell you, that grant is due December 12th.
Okay.
So I'm not missing a deadline on that one.
Okay.
I'll be in the office if you guys need anything else from me.
All right, thank you, Tom. Colin, you are up. Sorry, we're a little slow today, but we'll keep things moving.
Sure.
How are you today?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Doing
Morning,
all right.
Commissioners. Morning. Bids are due today at 9:30. Is that? And everybody will be, we're producing them all closed envelope and read into the record. Is that the plan?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I was planning on, waiting around and handing ours in as well today, but gave our presentation last time, nothing really new here. Just wanted to hit a couple high points if you're giving me a few minutes. Main thing about K-Work is that we provide services that, private industry, private insurance does not usually provide. We're consistently less expensive. We're financially accountable to the trustees, member owned. We're really transparent with financials because of that as well. No premium dollars that go to K-Work are used for commissions. It's all pool money used for Kansas counties in Kansas. Of course, we talked a little bit about last time about how K-Work and K-Camp are not the same. K-Work is just work comp, K-Camp's property casualty, and they're obviously separate. K-Work's been around since the 1990s, and we were founded back then because counties couldn't get competitive pricing from the private insurance market. So founded, by counties, for counties. Had a lot of growth since then, up to 87 member counties now of the 105 counties in the state, and about 8 of those aren't really eligible because they're so large they self-insure. So really a great majority of the state is getting their work comp insurance through K-Work. 71% of the members have been with K-Work for over 10 years. There's never been any assessments against the pool. And in recent years, from 2015, we've grown from 82 members to 97 members now. We have 5 full-time environmental health and safety consultants that travel the state. And their main focus is on teaching those defensive driving courses, forklift courses, and these are in person too, if that's what your preference is. Flagger and work zone training. We also conduct Kansas Department of Labor safety and compliance inspections. We're happy to come out and continue to do those for you. And then the K-Work offers a couple of grants too that I mentioned last time. I'll just briefly touch on to help with sheriff's training, $250 grants up to 3 a year for jail training, and POET post-offer employment testing for employees, physical testing to test, limitations of a shoulder or knee, for example. Will cover half the cost, up to $75 per employee, with no limit on the amount of employees there. But other than that, everything is the same as the last time, so I won't hit on those all again. I know you have another presentation to hear, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Morning, Kirk.
Morning.
Come on up.
Thank you. Matt, I apologize. I can email you a copy of this. I didn't know you weren't going to be here,
You're
so.
fine. You're fine.
I'll leave him
You leave him a copy.
up there. We're making a pause. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, you guys reaching out and soliciting a work comp bid. We are pleased to present that bid. I guess it is not in a sealed envelope. It is located on page 2 of your proposal here. If you do not want me to read that figure out loud, that's fine, or I can.
Not at this time.
Okay. That figure located on page 2 is our bid. This is with EMC Insurance Company. EMC is very familiar with the county's operation. Prior to the county moving the work comp to K-Work, EMC had the work comp for over 25 years, so they're very familiar. EMC also has the property, liability, vehicles, errors and omissions, pretty much everything else. So this would be a natural tie-in to add this policy to the package. So this policy would be serviced by our agency, which is about 100 yards that way. So pretty local. I don't have a list of all the different contacts that you would call, because if it's a claim question, you call me. If it's a billing question, you call me. So try to make it as simple as we can. I think the county clerk's office pretty much handles most of the paperwork for the county's insurance stuff. And we have a great relationship with that office, and I think that would continue if we were able to add this policy to the county's book. In addition, I think all the county's department heads have my cell phone number, so any issues that arise after hours, I think they know how to get a hold of me, and over the years that has taken place on occasion. So the good thing about work comp is the Kansas Division of Labor kind of standardized what benefits can be paid. So for instance, an employee loses a toe, they're going to get the same benefit amount from K-Work as they are EMC. That's a standardized number. But I think the strength and reliability of the company providing the policy is very important. EMC currently insures over 700 public entities in the state of Kansas, including 9 right here in Chase County. EMC has public entity business in 22 states and has $176 million in premium for this line of business alone. They have an A, excellent financial rating, so they're very well positioned to handle any claims that would come up. So there are a couple differences I want to point out between EMC and K-Works policies. Mr. Holdis mentioned the assessment situation. EMC has no assessment or no possibility of assessment. Doesn't matter how many claims the county has or how many claims another county that EMC insures has. The premium figure I gave you today is what it's going to be. So I know the pool has never assessed a fee to, I think, any of their counties, but they reserve the right to do that at any time. Another big advantage EMC has is their flexibility. This policy we're talking about today doesn't renew till January 18th of 2026. But the reason we're talking about it in October is because the pool requires 60 days written notice if you want to get out or cancel a policy. The policies we have, if you want to cancel it, you tell me, I print out a piece of paper, you sign it, we cancel it today. It's a pretty simple process. I've been in insurance for 27 years and dealt with a lot of different companies. The pools are the only people that make these unreasonable expectations or requirements to get out of a policy. So, I think if I was sitting in your chair, I know which option I'd prefer. So one more quick comment. Mr. Holdus mentioned that if you went with a local agent, that there would be a commission paid. He is 100% correct. If you accept our bid, our agency will receive a commission on this policy. Now, where do you think some of that commission is going to go? Well, I'm going to pay my property taxes on my office and house I own here. My truck needs some tires, so Deeker's going to get some of that. Probably buy a yearbook ad, donate a fair merchant prize, et cetera, et cetera. I think you get the idea. I mean, some of that money's staying here in the county. Well, you may not pay a commission to K-Work. I mean, I think all those people are getting salaries. So obviously some of that premium's going to pay their salaries. And I don't think any of them live here in the county or probably spend a whole lot of money here. So I know you guys realize the importance of doing business locally whenever possible, but I just want to throw that out. So I know you guys are running behind, so I will shut my stuff off. I appreciate the opportunity to bid, and I'm happy to answer any questions about our bid.
Good. Matt, do you have any questions for Kirk?
No, not right now. When do we have to make this decision?
Well, we can do it the day before the policy starts, but your requirements with the pool are much different.
Right. I guess the question is aimed at Connie. Do you know what?
60 days,
Yeah, when's our policy?
January 18th.
So we have time. We can table this until next month.
Yeah, I think let's,
Chairman Hazelton?
yes, sir.
K-Work would respectfully request that the amounts of the bids be read aloud, if possible, just so, since I don't have a copy of theirs.
We don't have to turn.
Yeah, that's.
It's public record.
Mm-hmm.
It's not public record till you open them. If you table it, don't open them until next meeting.
That's what I was.
Well, when the bids are due, everybody reads them aloud.
They have the option to table that decision.
Real common request.
Again, they have the option to table that decision.
Yeah. We will get our attorney. He's upstairs, and I will ask a couple questions here towards the end of the meeting, and make sure we're following all the guidelines of that. So. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for.
Is there, Kurt, could you email that to Matt?
Yes.
Right now?
I can go back to the office. I can't do it from my phone, but I can go to the office and do it.
Okay, Matt, would you be able to get that email where you're at? So,
Yeah, I have access to it.
You
Okay.
want the your county email address or your regular email address?
County email address, please.
Okay. Give me 10 minutes, Matt, and I'll walk back and
Perfect.
do that. Do you want me to come back then?
that's up to you,
Okay.
so. But that'll give him an opportunity to look at it,
Okay.
and then we can get with the attorney and make sure, so.
Okay. I'll be back.
I'd rather have him see it all before we open anything, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Is Tiffany up in the office?
She is. Unless she's got a voter.
Okay. Tiffany, when you have a chance, could you come back here? We'll have her go up and see if the attorney's available. They may be watching, so if
Quite a few people.
I know he had quite a bit today, but just a quick question, so if she could ask him. But we'll go ahead, Amanda. Come on up here.
Hey guys.
We're doing good. Pass it down here. Yeah.
Get a picture, Matt.
Actually.
I didn't hear you. He said smile. Okay.
Okay, well, it's good to see you guys. I
Good to see
won't
you.
take very much of your time, but you know, I like to try to come sometime other than just when we're asking for dollars. And we got to realize as we're doing this, that coming in February, March, April, and then coming again in June or May or June, just makes you have to deal with me 2 times that are really close. So we decided to try to do it towards the end of the year just so we can get a fairly good picture of what the years look like. So we've moved into a new system over the last couple of years, so we're just getting more and more data. And so it's kind of feels good to be able to bring more actual information to you just about Chase County and the services we're providing. So one thing we realized with Chase County is it's important to pull apart the numbers of residents that we're serving versus the detainees at the jail, because those numbers could look really inflated without doing that. So you'll see some of those kind of differences in here. Biggest one, total of services that we provided in Chase County, we've served 235 individuals. 71 of those are Chase County residents. So we have a pretty high need that we serve in the detention center. So you can kind of look at that. When I looked at 2024 numbers for the entire year, we served 160 individuals by having services in the county. And so you can see that through January through September of this year, we've already greatly increased that number. And then and the other box is talking about the actual numbers of services. So when you look at that, it's just over 1,700 services in the county. Almost 1,200 of those are services in the school or in our new office or out in the community. So those community-based type services that we provide. And then about 500 of them at the detention center itself. A lot of those are getting the intakes done and some of the individuals move on. So it's a pretty quick 1 or 2 contacts versus our individuals that we're serving in the county might be doing therapy every week, every other week, once a month, and case management every week, med services, all those different things. So their services kind of add up a lot more quickly.
So I'm clear, when we do summer school, the summer programs, how is that number calculated? Is it 1?
If they go to group, it'd be 1 a day.
1 a day.
For those kids. And we had our second year of summer group here in the county. And they had room for 8 kids in that program. And I think they've vacillated between 6 and 8, depending on sick, vacation, those sorts of things. So another successful year of that. And then Med Clinic is also another important number. You know, we know that the best result is med services and therapy type services. Some individuals only do the med services, but we kind of pull that department out to just look at what they're doing. But for Chase County, the titles are a little off, but there were 79 individuals that we saw in the Med Clinic, and then 281 services. So the titles don't tell you that, so I wanted to clarify that. And then it's just kind of interesting to see the number of prescriptions. So that they wrote for those 79 individuals they saw, they almost had 800 prescriptions. And so, you know, those services are getting utilized quite a bit. And then the other one I really like to see, as you know, over the last couple of years, we've been changing our model of care to that CCBHC, and we reopened our substance use license and allowed us to do treatment. And we merged with Corner House Inc., an Emporia that also covered some services here. So we only had 1 client that we saw specifically for SUD in 2024. And so this year already we've had 11 Now that doesn't count individuals that might be seeing us for mental health, but also have substance use concerns, but those are individuals that specifically came to us just for substance use. So we're glad to see that number increase and make sure that we're getting those services out there. The other thing, just, we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on, but we do, as a CMHC and a CCBHC, we are required to provide services regardless of someone's ability to pay. And so that is typically, we get some state grant dollars to cover that. And then that's typically how we use our county appropriations. So when we look at Chase County, we've already written off, just at $63,000 of either services that we provided that are to individuals who are uninsured or underinsured. So their insurance doesn't cover that service, or any of those services we provide in the jail are also written off because individuals lose their insurance when they go to jail. And we haven't, we don't charge the jail for those services. So I think that's a good number to let you know just that need that's there and how we're spending those dollars. So I hope that gives you just some good information about what's going on in the county. We continue to see that growth. We've got a couple clinicians that are coming up and spending some time, and of course the case managers that are in the community for adults and also in the schools. So,
Yeah.
And I don't know if we've talked about it here, but we also are part of the TASN program. It's a state education program where we're connected with the schools, and it's really focused on trauma-informed care and how we wrap services around an individual and work together on training staff and getting just a clearer picture of kind of 360 around a kiddo and their family and their services. They've used the model for a couple of kids and they had a lot of success at the end of last year. It wasn't a kid that has Crosswind services, but we certainly have developed some really good partnerships or expanded some partnerships where we've got staff that are helping train school personnel. We meet on a pretty regular basis with school counselors and the principals. Mr. Doty wasn't at the last meeting. It's probably Dr. Doty now, isn't it? Dr. Doty wasn't at the last meeting, which would have been the first time he'd had the opportunity, but typically, the superintendent has been there for some of those too. So it's been a nice project to just kind of build relationships some more. And then at the real, root of it is it's a really good system of care for kiddos to look at trauma informed and how we kind of meet them where they're at and what their needs are. So, so any questions, any concerns, comments?
No. Always good activity over there and vehicles at your office. That works
That's
very
good.
well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think
It's been a good addition. Glad we found that. And of course, having Jacob as a board member and being such a great advocate for the county is really helpful. So it's nice to have that.
Speaking of which, we are looking for another board member. If you happen to know of somebody that might be interested in serving mental health and representing Chase County. Chase County, we have, our bylaws allow for 2. So.
how often do you
We meet once a month, and that can be in person or we've got a lot of individuals that utilize Teams, the televideo type. So
Okay.
I think people can get as involved as they want to, but it is not too overbearing.
The board meetings are once a month. If you jump on a committee that needs to meet every month, like finance, they usually meet beforehand. So there could be 2 times a month that you might have to meet or something. But it's a really good way to get involved and to help advocate for mental health services in the county. There's a lot of people that come to me that say, well, you're on the Crosswinds board. You ought to be able to answer all the questions. You ought to be able to, and I try and tell them a lot of times I'm high level overview. I don't get down into the weeds. So I have to reach out to Amanda a lot.
That's all right.
But it is a good opportunity to educate and then be kind of the boots on the ground in the community of just, this is the service that we provide. Because most individuals don't really understand the full gamut. And so there's a lot of information and the board gets to be privy to a lot of that, kind of like you guys do. So anyway, just appreciate being able to come in and give you an update and opportunity to hear if we need to be looking at other things. So, well, thank you. That's nice.
Matt, do you
Me
have
as
any
well.
questions for Amanda? Matt's, sorry, he's zooming in, so.
No, can you tell us again who the current board members are from Chase County?
Just the sheriff right now. We're looking for a second.
Okay, I thought you had two others. They're no longer. No.
We had one, but she resigned earlier this year.
Yeah, she's got some family and new work obligations, so
Right.
step down.
Thanks for
If you
coming.
know
in.
anybody.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you so much. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day and weekend.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween. That's
Happy
great.
Halloween.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, good. Yeah, our therapeutic preschool walked through the building yesterday, and that's always cute. It's hard not to feel good around kids that are having a good time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Give us just the best shot.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Come on up, Darren.
This is our food official.
Oh, very good.
What was his name again?
Charles Mayfield.
Okay.
So,
Nice to have you, Charles. We've got Matt is zooming in, so.
well, that glare is not going to hurt him, is it back there?
It'll be all right.
All right.
That's why I closed the line back here.
Okay. Guys, appreciate you having us here today. I'm with Tila Insurance, obviously, and I'm a partner with Freedom Claims Management and Group Health Insurance. And so we want to go through, and I sent this information to Connie and Matt last night because Matt was out of pocket, obviously, here today. But I'm sure when they opened up and seen the comparison page here, which is the page right here, is you probably just kind of about fell over. So your current United Healthcare proposal there, your renewal came in at 36% increase this year on your guys' plan. So you obviously had some pretty good usage on your utilization there in that regards. And you can see that on the second column from the left there, when you're on the comparison, it says renewal. And then we threw some a Blue Cross Blue Shield high deductible plan at a $5,000 individual, $10,000 per family. That came in at a 44.65% increase. The next Blue Cross Blue Shield plan has a $6,000 individual, $12,000 per family, fully insured. That came in at 38.65, so it's just slightly more than your renewal for UHC there. And then you can go across. There's a cookie cutter plan from Blue Cross at $1,500 and $3,000 per family is 65.39%. Another fully insured Blue Cross plan at 57.15%. Then you got an Aetna level funded at 47.32%. So that far right is a comparable plan. If you went and tried to grab a plan off a cookie cutter plan off of from United Healthcare to match your deductibles and stuff down here for the Freedom Choice plan, it'd be like 88.87%. So not too pretty in regards to pricing from the carriers there. And we'll go into, I'm going to give you some examples how that Blue Cross Blue Shield and the funding would be if we went with that, going that route, and also the funding on the United Healthcare. But that's what the plans came in from the carriers there. But down below there, you can see in the middle there, it says in the yellow, it says FCMI will charge an administration fee in the amount of $27. I don't think that's changed. And then your FCMI will charge a renewal fee in the amount of $1,500. And then the Freedom Choice plan, which is down there at the bottom, you can see the projected, and this at that particular point there was 85 people when we put this together here on the Freedom Choice plan that was on your plan there. So the individual $1,500 deductible, $3,000 for family, and you can go down there for the projected for the year was supposed to be $687,492.72. You guys are running 6.01% under. And you think, well, why is ours? It's because, all the Freedom Choice plan is taking care of the stuff underneath that threshold.
and everything else is affecting Blue Cross Blue Shield. So you've had some claim utilization that they're having to pay for, and you'll see it in the reports there that they had some pretty good hits on it there. Your actual through 10/31, which is that second column here, says through the 10/31 there. So it's not the full year, so that's just through October there at this particular point. So there'll be some more, obviously there'll be more claims against that going forward there. But you're running under, so you're still putting some money back in the Freedom Choice Plan. Go to the next page. This is your report. And you can see the left-hand column where your employee count, anywhere from 77 to 85 to 88 looks like there. If you went and got the total illustrated rate plan, you would have been spending $531,000. You bet you guys got the high deductible plan with UHC, and you spent $388,384 up through the end of September on this particular report. And your administrative fee, $20,061. The monthly medical claims is $24,889, and the monthly prescription claims a little over $21,000. And risk management fee, that's a percentage of savings, $15,497. Then you take the $77,000 minus that $15,497 and gives you around $61,000 or so, almost $62,000 on the Freedom Choice Plan in your savings there. So I think roughly at this particular point, you guys had overall in your savings is right around $209,000 when we put this together. Maybe a little bit more than that now, I would think. So right around $209,000 in your reserves. So that's a good thing. You have a positive number on the Freedom Choice Plan. The next page is your reporting. Your prescription claims. You have 360 claims in the prescriptions so far through 9/30, and $21,001.81 paid by the plan there on the prescription side. And these are all the top benefits. Doctor's office visit, $6,600 paid for by the plan. You can see, looks like you had 13,000 doctor's office visits that were total charges, 21,000 for the lab, $64,000 hospital total charge. Of course, they have write-off, and then there's allowable charges, and then it gets paid by the plan over here. But that still hits the Blue Cross Blue Shield side, or the United Healthcare side, in regards to your claims and your cost for the rate increase there. But overall, paid by the plan, you have $45,890.82 to paid by the Freedom Claims or Freedom Choice Plan there. So that was your benefits. And then it breaks it down into deeper detail into who actually provided those benefits. And the P&K, which is the Pharmacy Business Manager that Freedom Choice or Freedom Claims utilizes. You can see, again, 360 claims for the prescription side and 21,000 again paid by that. And then it works in descending order on that far right, and you can see all the different providers there that they utilize through the end of September 30th, and it goes about 3 pages back. And that number, $45,890.82. Again, that's the same as it was on the first report for the benefits, so it matches. Then you got your prescription page here. Let's just go. Instead of cranking through the numbers, let's go to the pie chart, guys, which is a little bit easier to understand. Get it here. Your pie chart shows on the left-hand side for a group your size, you guys have 91.1% utilizing the generic drugs, which is really good at group your size. You're over 90%. And then there's a little sliver there, the more expensive drugs, you're 8.7% of your the usage. But that 8.7 usage is to the right there at 68.6 of your cost on drugs. So there's some pretty expensive drugs being utilized there, and in regards to some of those individuals can't get an alternative. But that's where it shows on the drug side of things, if your brand utilization there, the drugs. And then this is your plan that you ran under for this last year. We got that connected to it. So that's your Freedom Choice Plan so far. And that part of it there, that side of it there is running really pretty good. You're having the savings there. And so that's a good part of it there. So what I showed on the next pages here, guys, as we brought in, looked at the Blue Cross Blue Shield, and this is way back when, guys, when we shared these type of this type of plan or type of this is the illustration. So this is what we showed when we initially started with you, when we went to UHC, or we had Blue Cross, we had everybody was looking at. These are the illustrations we bring in. So we put the Freedom Choice Plan together in this illustration, and we put the Blue Cross Blue Shield, and this is just a regular high deductible plan, and that shows in the black band across here, guys. That's your high deductible plan, $6,000 individual, $12,000 per family. And down here in the blue area, guys, just kind of reminding you kind of how this works, but the blue area is where we put the employee plan together underneath the high deductible plan. And Matt, you got the right one, don't you? That's it says the Chase County Blue Cross Blue Shield at the top of that on this illustration page.
Yes.
Okay, because there's a couple of them there. One of them says HSA, which you guys talked about in HSA, and I brought a sample of that. And then, but this is the one with not the HSA. So if you look at that.
The first of your illustrations then.
Yeah, the first illustration here, that's the one I'm utilizing here, the Chase County - Blue Cross Blue Shield at the top.
Got it.
So in the blue area down here, guys, that's where you set up the employee plan, and the employee deductible is $1,500, just like you have. And then the 50% co-insurance up to the next $2,250. So the employee at that particular point would be done on their max amount of pocket right here, okay? The $1,500 plus the $2,250. If they're still in the hospital and they've paid their deductible and they've used this $2,250, well, that 50%, if they use this all up here, this is the box that impacts the county, okay? This is the $2,250 is what impacts you guys is toward your maximum liability. So if they use that up, that means the $1,500, the $2,250, and the $2,250 here totals to $6,000. Once it hits the $6,000 mark, it's 100% on the carrier. So Blue Cross would take over after that. Okay. So if you have a really high bill or whatever it may be, after $6,000, guys, it's on Blue Cross. And this is the only impact it has to the county is $2,250, because this is your box right here. So I'm probably re-educating you on some of this, bringing this to you again, just kind of letting you see that. In the blue area if you get out that blue area again to the right, you got your facility copay visits. You got your $25 copay to your doctor, your specialist is $25. Urgent care is $50, and emergency rooms $250. I think that matches what you guys are doing with Blue Cross or UHC. And your prescription drug copay, $15, $40, and $75. So you just kept it all the same. So basically, this is just mirroring what you guys have in your benefits, but be with a different carrier at this particular point. Any questions on this page here? So this is kind of this is the actual Freedom Choice Plan that just with the Blue Cross Blue Shield side of things. So I don't know if you want me to go into great detail. I think the main thing, what you want to see is that last page on the funding. You go to the last page of that, Matt, it's page 6 at the bottom. And if you look at I gave you, there's like some options there that you have for your funding for 2026 if you went with Blue Cross Blue Shield, okay? And then I'll give you some United Healthcare as well. So if you look at the top, it says fund proposed, and right underneath that fund proposed, you see a little green line says same reserves as 2005 or 2025, and overall 22.31% increase. So from your comparison page right here, okay, that Blue Cross Blue Shield plan I'm utilizing here to drive this particular Freedom Choice Plan, it's the $6,000 individual, $12,000 per family plan, which is only 38.65% increase. And so that's the plan we use to put together these Freedom Choice plans. So that's at 38.65%. But if you go with that plan, with your reserves, if you use the same reserves as 2025, your overall increase is only again, put that around quotes around that 22.31% increase. So you go from 38 to 22.31% increase overall with that. And if you look at that, guys, to the left, that's a $27 fixed cost. That's administrative fee to Freedom claims. You have your reserve if you keep that's the same amount of reserves you were putting into your UHC this year, okay? And then your umbrella, that's the cost of the plan right here that I just told you we're utilizing to drive this or put this plan together, the $6,000 individual Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's the employee rates. And then so this is what gives you the 22.31% increase as opposed to a 38.65% increase with Blue Cross. That's if you use the same reserves. That's one option for funding, okay, if you continue with this. Then down here, this option 2 here, okay, it says overall increase of 20%. Well, you still have the same fixed cost. Your reserves, you can see the reserve amount's different. It's a lot lower than up here, okay? And so that's not putting as much money into your reserve account, okay? So it's probably not a good idea because you look over here to the far right, it says 16.3% funded. So, but overall, if you have you put your 209,000, it's 117.57% funded. You'd be dipping into more of your reserves, okay? Up there above there in that first example, you're 52.28% funded. And you'd be 153.55% funded with your reserves, the total reserves. So and then this down here, the third one is more to your comparable plan, the comparable plan, which is that plan out here to the far right, which most people don't go that route. It's either they pick one of these two, but you can dictate if you don't want to go with your same reserve amount, you could drop that down a little bit here too if you wanted to. But that's totally up to you guys. You guys can take maybe 10% off of that and don't put as much into reserves, or you just keep the same amount of reserves. You guys got flexibility in what you want to do if you want to go this route with the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. Again, this is a Blue Cross Blue Shield I'm showing you here. This would be the funding with the Freedom Choice plan. So you guys would pick this one or this one, probably one or two, and I wouldn't pick two. I'd pick one because that funding there is not real good. But just you guys' call. But I would say that was probably not a good choice there on that particular one. But that is for the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, not an HSA. It's just your regular plan there, or high deductible plan. But this is where you can fund it right here. So this gives you an idea of what you can be up against. Instead of that 38% increase from the carrier, with all your stuff that you got going on with your program, you'd only be 22.31% increase on that top option there. I did bring an HSA, guys. That's the next one right here. And again, when we do the sample for the HSA, and this is through Blue Cross, we didn't get a UHC one yet because it was going to take like another 2 weeks to get that to us on that. But we can still get that if you prefer us to get that as well. But just showing you here, on the HSA plan, the employee deductible, see, they're going to pay a higher deductible on that. So they're going to pay $3,400 for that. That's what they're responsible for, okay? And there's no co-insurance there. They pay 100% of the anything above that. And then the only part they're responsible for is for the county would be $2,600 if it's utilized. Again, this number only affects you if it's utilized. Okay, that number there. So and then but this is the program for the employees across here. Again, don't know if anybody want to go to that. It's an opportunity that they can actually, from an individual standpoint, when you go to an HSA, a health savings account, they can, that money that you can say, okay, I'm going to plan on spending this amount of money for medical next year and pharmaceutical, all that. And you can say maybe it's $10,000 or $8,000 or $6,000, whatever it may be. So that you can put so much in there in an HSA, and that money goes onto a card. And then you can work off of that card throughout the year, buying those different services or supplies, whatever it may be. And it's pre-tax, okay, pre-tax dollars. And then that money don't get taken at the end of the year. If you don't use it, it just rolls over, okay? And the HSA, that money can stay in a interest-bearing account or whatever too. I mean, it's interest-bearing. It's out there on the market. So there is some variability in that regard, but still, that money is going to be money that you can. It ain't taken away at the end of the year like a flexible spending account. The FSA, that that money is, it's use it or lose it. And in the HSA, you can actually keep that and roll it over. So this is kind of what it is. I can go into greater detail, Matt. If you want me to go through this whole plan, I can. It's whatever you prefer, but they just know that they're going to be paying they higher deductible going this route. But it's really, if they can afford that, it's probably the better route for them to go if they overall, because there's pre-tax, there's some savings there, and they can build up if they don't use it, they don't lose it. And say if they get to be older and they got this big nest egg of money sitting there in regards to like their retirement or something like that, they can pay their, different Medicare Advantage or whatever they're utilizing there, they pay with that, whatever they're utilizing for their retirement. Of course, that's a long time for some of these young people that don't think about retirement, So, but that's an idea, guys, if you want to go that route. But that we can get you a United Healthcare one as well, but it's going to be a little bit later before we can get that in if you want us to continue down that route. Does that even incite you a little bit there, Matt, at all? I mean
it's not exactly what I had in mind when I asked you to see what you could offer us on that. I felt like the fact that we essentially already are on a high deductible plan, the way that we're set up, I just envision something a little bit different. I'll probably get with you first part of the week and ask after I have a chance to look at this a little bit more. I'll have questions for you.
I know that. So even though the county has purchased a high deductible plan you're currently on, the employees aren't on a high deductible plan because their plan is designed underneath that.
Right.
Okay, so they're not considered to be, the employees are not considered on a high deductible plan.
Right.
So maybe do you understand that piece?
Yep, I do.
Oh, okay. So if we pull out there's the UHC funding page, there's one page by itself that you probably got sent to you. I think it's a page by itself that you got sent an email last night. Yeah, the last one. It says Chase County UHC. Okay. So the funding on that, on the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, not the HSA, comparing it to the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan on their funding. So we got the funding I showed you a while ago, and then we got UHC funding, okay? So you can see on here at the top of the UHC funded, says same reserve. So if you put the same reserve amount in there, you got a $27 fixed fee, and you have the reserves at what you were putting in this year in UHC. There's the umbrella cost for the UHC plan. And of course, that overall cost is a little bit less than what the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan was on the comparison page on the increase. But your overall increase in that little green area up here, that little green line there, is 28.08% increase versus the Blue Cross at 22.31% increase. And you wonder how that can happen. Well, so on the plan you guys currently have with UHC, okay, you have a $5,000, $10,000 family, but 5,000 individual, but there's continuation up to $6,350 on the Blue Cross Blue Shield side on the drugs, or on the UHC on the drug side. It has another, it goes up to $6,350. So that impacts the county on that. So there's more liability on your side with the UHC plans you currently are on, as opposed to the plan with the Blue Cross Blue Shield side. It just goes to $6,000 and it's over. There's no continuation on copays for the drug. So that liability is less for you guys there. So so you can see the estimated savings for Blue Cross on the initial one there that I had up there. Estimated savings was $24,828.14 on option one. And let's see here. Seeing this right. Yeah. So and now there's estimated savings here, $54,786.77 with UHC, and $24,828.14 here. There's a little more savings to be had here, but there's less impact on you guys from a liability standpoint. your liability goes down, your maximum liability there. On that particular piece there, just because the plan that you guys purchased has a continuation up to $6,350 versus the $6,000, that $350 goes against all your 88 employees or whatever you have there. Do you have any questions on that piece on the funding? So we gave you the Blue Cross Blue Shield funding here, and also the Blue Cross Blue Shield or the UHC funding here, what you currently have. With UHC, just the one by itself, okay? The one by itself, and then you have your comparison page, okay? So even with UHC giving you a 36% increase, if you stayed with that one, UHC, it's only a 28.08% increase with UHC if you just stayed with what you got on that first one. So it's still, the Freedom Choice Plan obviously gives you everything you got going on in there and having your reserves and everything. That does give you savings compared to what you're going with, whether it's Blue Cross Blue Shield or UHC, depending which way you want to go. But you have a higher, let's see, what's that? Yeah, the 6,000 is a you guys, even though it says a higher deductible 6,000 versus the 5,000, you get the continuation up to 6,350. It just your liability goes down on the county as opposed to if you went with Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's what's showing you on this page here on the funding. To see your 52.28% funded with Blue Cross as opposed to 34.72 on UHC. That's what shows you here, Connie. 34.72 funded here versus your 55.28% if you go that way. So your funding is better with the Blue Cross side there, and an overall increase would be a little bit less versus the UHC at this particular point. Even though your costs on the plan is a little bit higher on the plan versus UHC's increase. And if you didn't have any of the reserves, guys, or if you wasn't doing this, this would be the plan you'd be out here on here, which is 88% increase. Anyway, that's kind of where you're at. On the Freedom Choice Plan. So I guess what I would need from you guys, if you guys continue to go down this path, if you want to go with the UHC plan and just want to go the same reserves as you have today, you could do you sign off on that 34.72% funded one there, or the Blue Cross Blue Shield, which you'd be at 55%. The 52.28% funded there on that. So 34 is a little low. 40 is where I'd like to be on that, but 34 is I mean, is this what it is for the UHC? But I'd like to be 40 or above on your percent funded for for your guys's for any entity. I look for 40% or above is what I'd like to see. So threw that out there that Blue Cross may be an opportunity this year, and I got I'd like to have Charles come up here and talk a little bit about the Blue Cross Blue Shield side, if that's okay. Go that route. And then I'll come back and talk to you about US Alliance and stuff like that.
This is my question.
Yes.
These reserve, that amount can be changed.
Yes, that reserve. So she's talking about the second column here on the reserves, whether page you're on here. This reserves, you can take something off of that. That'll affect numbers over here, obviously your percent funding stuff, but you can take something off of that. Okay. Say if you want to take 10% off of those numbers or whatever it may be. But that will change your percent funding over here as well. Just know that. Like that Blue Cross Blue Shield one is showing at 50-some%. If you took some money off that and still be up above the 40% range, you probably could take some off of that, because you're understanding you're still moving that same amount of money there. So, any question on that piece?
All right. What is it?
deadline if we do change? I mean, it's
So if you went to Blue Cross, either way.
either way,
It's
yeah.
gonna, you're, to get, say you pulled the trigger this week, if you did. So if you, that'd be 2 weeks for Freedom Claims to get everything packaged ready and everything, but it's gonna be a month before they get Blue Cross Blue Shield cards out to you, most likely. But you guys aren't until January 1. So the quicker you guys can make a decision, it impacts everything coming after. So, yeah, it's just, it's usually about 2 weeks before we can get packaged. So it may be that first part of December where we're enrolling here or something like that, or that really late part, that first part of the month or that first part of that week before Thanksgiving, maybe pick that Wednesday or something like that. I don't know. It's getting pretty full, but we'll figure it out. So if Charles, you want to come up and talk about the Blue Cross stuff here, and then I can talk about the US Alliance and other things here.
Brought some handouts here, not that we necessarily need to go through these because I'll kind of talk through it. And I'll keep this pretty short. I felt that it was important for Blue Cross to be here today. And I just wanted to take a moment to kind of address why Blue Cross. So if you are interested in making that switch to Blue Cross.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but you don't want to get interrupted. We've got trick or treaters.
Oh, fine. So it's okay.
It's just, have the candy or.
Talk fast.
Okay.
And then get applause.
Yeah, no worries. So,
So,
just to introduce myself, my name is Charles Mayfield. I'm the Blue Cross Blue Shield group sales consultant. I work with Darren on a lot of groups across the state, and I was really excited to have the opportunity to quote for you guys here today. What I wanted to do, and it's my understanding you guys have been enrolled in Blue Cross before, so just to kind of circle back to some of those benefits of how Blue Cross works for you, one of which would be Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas has the largest network across the state of Kansas. So we have 99% of all doctors and 100% of all hospitals covered across the state. And what that means for your members is not only do they have the largest network of access to care, but because of that large network, we also have the largest network discount. So when your members are seeking care, they're receiving the lowest cost available care available to them compared to some of our competitors operating in the state. I also want to state that Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas is a mutual nonprofit organization operating. We're the only nonprofit insurance company operating in the state of Kansas. So we collect your premiums. We run our business off a very, very small percent of them, and every other dollar gets paid out to claims. So there's not stockholders. There's no one lining their pockets based off of your premium dollars. And we're the only insurance company operating in Kansas operating that way as well too. And I think the last point that I wanted to bring up is just some of our cost savings tools. And there's one that I'm really excited about for 2026 that has not been in place at any other time, which is our Flex Access qualified savings tool for our groups that are on high deductible health plans. So this works perfect with the Freedom Choice plan because what it does is your members who might be utilizing high cost drugs that can really affect your claims, where you're going to see that on your group reserves and on the back, your members out of pocket, your group reserves, and then the Blue Cross claims dollars. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas has implemented a cost saving tool to where when a member's taking a high cost specialty drug, our pharmacy team sees that and they're paying to reach out to members when there's manufacturer assistance available. So we help them get enrolled in manufacturer assistance, which lowers the out-of-pocket cost to the member, but then also lowers the group's claims dollars. So it helps the member, it helps your group, it helps your reserves, and it helps Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas. So I went through this very quickly, but I'll pause there. Those are the kind of four main terms four more main points that I wanted to go over with you. And then I'll also pause and see if you guys had any questions or concerns that you would like to bring up or ask for me directly.
Matt, do you have any questions?
Not at this time.
Not at this time. That's kind of, we'll read through it. and-
Yeah.
Do we have a card or your phone number in here?
Probably all communication will go through Darren.
Okay.
And then Darren will relay it back to me, and then, yeah, we'll work closely together here.
Okay.
Yes.
So, is there any issues you're having with, like we need to deal with what you're currently on right now? Is anybody having major issues?
I think-
Okay.
I haven't, yeah.
Okay.
No news, good news.
Yeah.
So
That's right now anyway. So I did bring a US Alliance, bid in for your group term life and your AD&D. And so just, cause I know we don't have that, who you guys with on that? Is it Advanced, or you guys have your group term life, or you guys with?
We use Benefits Direct for all.
Benefits Direct? Okay, okay. Just want to share that the rates on this here, and you get some different options, option 1, 2, and 3. And you can see where you're at on their particular basic life AD&D. You can look at different options there. So you can compare that to what you have. So just brought this, we do look at some other things every now and then and bring that to you, just in case you want to have, make a change. You have an opportunity to look at that and read through that there. And then Matt did say about the HSA Freedom Flex. That's what this is here. Freedom Claims does have the Freedom Flex program, which does the FSA and HSA. And the HSA here down at the bottom is a $3 per employee per month on that there. I think last year was $275, but now it's $3. But anyway, you can look through this here for that information there, you guys have that. And then we have this page here is it's a employee notice and compliance services page. This is something new that Freedom Claims is putting out as a service. So a lot of compliance issues come up in regards to questions that, hey, can you help me on this, or 1095 or whatever it may be in regards to compliance, guys. But there's some pain that a lot of people go through they don't like to deal with, and they kind of have us help them out on it. So if you did everything here, you can get a 10% discount on the all-inclusive package. But if there's maybe you want to just pick some of these things they need help on, there is additional cost on this stuff here, but you can actually get Freedom Claims and have you help. They can help you on that as well. So something they put out this year. Okay. So as you guys are looking through this information for the major medical side of things and pharmaceutical, when do you guys think you will be making some type of decision on that? Are you gonna wait till your next meeting, or is it
probably.
Discuss it at the next meeting, then might go over it.
really?
Yeah.
Okay,
We have another meeting on the 10th and 17th, so.
okay,
10th is the canvas elections.
that's right, that's right.
And of course, you need to go back to United Healthcare and let them know that Blue Cross is somewhat appealing and that they need to sharpen their pencil a little bit. Don't forget that step.
Okay, okay. All right, well, we'll take a look at that, and then, and you want us to continue to pursue the UHC HSA thing as well?
I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. You brought me more questions than answers, I think, today with that one personally.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. So the 17th is when you're going to be talking more about that particular point. So your enrollment will definitely probably be in December, somewhere in that time frame. But does that have an effect on you in that
We'll have a
regard?
decision by mid-November.
Okay, okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna go out on the limb for, say, the 17th.
Yeah. Okay. So you're definitely, enrollment would be somewhere in December there time frame. So, okay. Okay. I think it will work for you. 'Cause I think we did, has it been December every year? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Seems like it's been earlier than that, but okay. All right. Any questions?
Not at this time.
If you want us to make a decision earlier, give us the big.
You know, and that's a tough one, guys, because everybody's stuff is in that last part of October is that when they're all landed here, basically. It's from the 15th on is when it started landing. Don't know when yours came in, but it happened. It wasn't too long ago. Because UHC's I think it's it's one of the Tiger windows, isn't it?
Yeah.
UHC, yeah. So okay. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you guys. I know it's a lot.
Thanks for putting up with the
Oh,
noise.
all right. I just know that's a lot of information. Take care.
Matt, did you get the email
From Kirk.
from Kirk?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I haven't seen the other one though. That was.
Well, I haven't opened it yet,
Oh,
so that's. We got them both here, so
We don't have to make a decision.
go ahead and open
And
them.
that's not, again, that one, I mean, we can push that whole thing, looking at both of those and getting into that deeper on to the 10th meeting anyway, right? I don't see a problem with that personally, but.
Well, that's what I don't. You got a hold of Brian, or let me go check with Tiffany quick just to make sure.
Oh, listen, seat's getting uncomfortable.
You ought to have one without a cushion.
Okay, well, he is still in court, but we'll go ahead and open them and look at the amounts, and then we will make a decision at our next meeting, so. First one we have here is from K-Work. Bid of $54,075. And the EMC amount is $78,228. We'll look those over and make our decision at our next meeting. So Connie, I'll give these back to you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for reading those out.
No problem.
Is he still there?
Yes.
Did you ask him what he found out about K-Camp not being interested in bidding the liability insurance for us this year?
Okay, sure.
Thanks for the question, Commissioner Miller. I did speak with David Luke, the exiting K-Camp administrator, and he said that him and David Knutson, the acting administrator, sent a letter to the county. So I'm assuming that someone here got that and read it. He didn't really expand too much more. I didn't really pry. That's, we communicate about a lot of things, but he didn't give any specific reason. I do know they're going through a bit of a rebuilding phase right now in terms of having a new administrator and an exiting administrator, an interim administrator for a period of whatever it's been, probably 4 to 6 months here. And then whatever decision they make for a final hire. So I realize that's not shedding a ton of light on it, sir, but that's what I can add to the conversation.
All right, well, could you ask him to resend that letter so that we can and send a copy it to all 3 commissioners? And that's Commissioner 1 at chasecountyks.com, Commissioner 2 at chasecountyks.com, and Commissioner 3 at chasecountyks.com.
I'll pass that on, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All of this, so good. You go ahead and keep them for now. Yeah,
Where'd you go, Bernice? Do you have a second? Just said, sure.
yeah. You gentlemen have any more for us? Okay, you're more than welcome to stay. Yes.
Just started the process of getting Tiffany and Nick on the Kansas Municipal Pool investment site so they can check it and everything, because I think it should be more than a 1-person show there. So, but it requires a resolution, and I've got it all here. Yeah, they printed it, so it was on their site. So, so really, if you guys would just sign that at some point.
We'll need a motion.
Yeah. So. So yeah, whatever, I'm just gonna leave that with you. Resolution? No, that's the original with the signatures, so. But you could, I guess you could write the resolution.
Well, she'll make it what our next resolution number is. So.
Yeah. So.
No, don't write all that. That's original.
I didn't slap their hands or anything. Just figured it out today how to do it.
Well, we're here.
Get the wording.
That's all right. I appreciate that. So how's Vegas, Matt? Oh, you're muted.
There we go. Great. Great.
100 degrees?
Not quite. Warmer than it is there, though. I can tell you that.
It was 34 this morning, so. All right, I'll make a motion for resolution 2025-08, adding Tiffany Harshman and Nick Rogers to the municipal investment pool access.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks for doing that last minute for me. I appreciate it.
Don't let it happen. I just have a quick question for Kurt. Oh. Sure. We tend to have bills come due later on in the year with our current work comp people. It's due to payroll and stuff. We do
Correct.
have things like that also.
Correct. Work comp is based on your actual payroll.
Okay.
So we estimate the payroll when we quoted this. And the figures I got were what you'd actually use after the result of your audit. That's our policy. So if for some reason you gave everybody 25% wage increases, you would have more payroll than we anticipated, and you would get an additional. And conversely, if you didn't use as much payroll as we estimated, you would get a refund. So, and that's, again, I would just encourage you to make sure the payroll amounts match. Again, I pulled it from their most recent audit, which I assume they use, but if you use less payroll, your premium quote's gonna be less. That's it. I think they were at 79,000 last year, so that is an unexplainable drop if they're using the same payroll figures. I mean, that just.
And we don't have anything to look at there, so.
All it is a figure, a premium.
Do you have?
It's in those. I stuck it in there somewhere.
Did you?
So we didn't.
Can I open one of these?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, that's here. I don't think.
We want to
Well.
be transparent here.
Folder.
Got it.
Little pages just lists all the different classifications the county has and what we're estimating payroll gonna be. So bottom line is, the more payroll you have, the more your work comp costs. So, to compare apples to apples, and you can quoting the same payroll amount. We quote a lower payroll amount and then audit it and send an extra bill, but that nobody's happy when, you want to get as close as you can.
Do you have a figure on it, your estimated payroll? in
Yes.
there? It's some pages.
About the middle.
Thank you.
It's the different classifications, the estimated annual payrolls all down the right side, so. Those look close, I need to roll those up. Have a total, maybe a total there, I don't know. Well, this is substantially less payroll. Substantially less.
And I don't know what figure they use.
Well, the figure I used for a quote was from what Tiffany sent me for what the audited payroll was.
For what?
For this year.
For this year.
Well, or the most current.
They may be
policy
using
period.
last year's
Yeah.
figures.
Yeah, that.
Okay, and check my 23 copies. So these are
insurance and then additionals above it, you know.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure how to proceed here because this is not quite apples to apples.
Yeah.
We will check on that.
That's the payroll figures we use for each class, so.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Answer any questions
We'll get it.
at any time.
Thanks, Kurt. We
Of
made your
course.
call.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, guys.
Takes an insurance guy to understand
Mhm. That's-
where the figures are coming. So we'll go over this.
Next time, I mean, we got some time to do it. And then we can take a look at that and see, make sure we're doing apples to apples.
So which did from him, or Kirk, the other one, Colin. Can we get that broke down?
Here, okay, here, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll make copies, if I have copies of everything.
Okay,
In one sheet, so you
compare it.
Okay,
So,
gotcha. Thank you.
guess we probably, I could reach out to him and make sure where he got his number from, but make sure he didn't do an old number. We'll look at that. All right. Connie, do you have any?
Election day is next Tuesday. We're running at about, might hope for 10% at this point. Which is kind of disappointing, but maybe we'll have a huge turnout on election day.
There we go.
And we close voting in the office at noon on Monday.
Okay.
And then everything gets moved to the polling location at the school park,
Then 7 to 7 on election day.
7 to 7 on election day.
Okay. You have any more, Matt, or anything? Were you able to talk
No.
with the Strong City Council or
Yeah.
update on that or?
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the 10th. They weren't, it wasn't a very productive meeting. We'll go with that. And they received we received a letter for the van that they use for training down there. You know, they did their new ordinance for abandoned vehicles, untagged vehicles, that sort of thing. And we got a letter about removing our training van that they use down there. So
yeah.
I think Greg was going to go talk to him, and I guess nothing else. We could just tag it. So put a county tag on it. But yeah, we'll
just an update at the next meeting.
Yeah, we'll just update the next meeting and talk a little bit more about it. So
sounds good. All right. Well, get out and vote, and we'll be back here on the 10th regardless, yeah, at 9 o'clock for Canvas,
For
yes.
Canvas at 9
Yes.
o'clock, yes.
So, all right. Gene, do you have anything? All right. Well, have safe travels back, Matt, and we will see you in a couple weeks. 10 days, I guess. So, all right, I'll make a motion to adjourn. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
bye.
We're out of here.
Thanks, guys.